Hey guys, it's Natalie, and today I'm going to show you guys a Nat Nailed It full set from start to finish. We're going to go ahead and start with pushing back our client's cuticles. We want to be as gentle as possible, even though the cuticle area is dead skin. We still have some live skin behind it, so you want to be kind of gentle with it with pushing it back. I am using a metal pusher from my local beauty supply store. I chose to use a metal pusher, but you are more than welcome to use a wooden pusher. The only thing with wooden pusher is that they are only valid for that one-time use, or if you're going to use it on the same client each time. So to avoid all of that and more money spending, I just get a metal pusher and I clean it with my barbicide and disinfect it every single time with each client. So our next step is to take off the natural shine off of our client's nails. And for that, I'm going to be using my Melody Susie nail drill. I'm going to put my setting under 5,000, just right under it, only because this drill is very powerful for me and I don't want to burn my client. So I'm going to put a little under 5,000 where it's still going to get the job done, but it's not going to burn her. When using the nail drill, I do go from right to left. This is something that I do and I have been doing for quite some time now. It does take off the natural shine as long as you do not put as much pressure on the actual nail bed to not burn the client. I do this to all 10 fingers. And then once I'm done this, we're going to go to the next step where we apply the nail tip.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. So no one else does me like you do. That's why I don't mind spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world, don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling.
So as I stated, guys, I'm going to go ahead and place the artificial nail tip on my client. I am using my nail tips from the company EC Basket from Amazon. These are the best nail tips that I have used. I got them in clear and also the natural nail colored ones, and which those are the ones that I am currently using right now. When placing the nail tip, I do go from sidewall to sidewall so I can prevent any gaps or airways that could let anything like water or debris get inside to the nail. To ensure that my nail tips are fitting my client perfectly, I sometimes go in with my straight edge nail clipper and I will clip the corners of the artificial nail tip so that I could customize it to my client specific nail width.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See, no one else does me like you do. That's why I don't mind spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world, don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling all day long.
So after I place all of my clients' nail tips on, we go ahead and discuss how long or short she wants to go with her nails. And in this case, she wants to go to a medium long. So I always start with the middle finger first, and I go ahead and cut it where she wants it to be. And then from there, I go in from the pointer to the ring finger, and then the pinky, and then the thumb. I guesstimate the thumb because I don't have a finger to measure it next to, but that's okay because I'll also ask her if her thumb length wants to be longer or shorter, because she tends to use that obviously when she goes ahead and texts or uses her phone. So when I'm done the first hand, I go ahead and take the middle finger and I use that as my guide for the next hand, and I just repeat the same process with using that as my guide to measure out how long she wants the nail. And in this time for the second hand, I do use the first thumb to measure out her second thumb so that everything it is equal.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See, no one else does what you do. That's why I don't mind. Spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world. Don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling all day long.
So after I'm done cutting my client's nail to her desired length, I take my 80/80 grit nail file and I just go ahead and file the nail to her desired shape. Today she chose square. She usually goes coffin, but she actually likes square nails, so we're going to go ahead and square up her nails. I don't do too much shaping on the sides of her nails, only because they come already tapered. So I go ahead and just clean up the free edge of the fake nail.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See, no one else does what you do. That's why I don't mind. Spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world. Don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on.
Alright, so once we go ahead and finish shaping up the nail, I'm going to go ahead and take my nail drill and blend the nail tip with the nail bed. This is going to actually help the nail look better. I see a difference when I don't do it. I can see when I lay down the acrylic, it's like a little bump there. So when I do go ahead and file it down gentle, there's not usually a bump. And while I'm at that, I just go ahead and take off the natural shine off the nail tip. I'm not sure if that does anything, but it's just a habit of mine that I've been doing, and it works fine. It doesn't make or break the nail.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See, no one else does what you do. That's why I don't mind. Spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world. Don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on.
Alright, ladies, we finally made it to the fun part. It's acrylic time. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and start with applying our nail prep dehydrator. This helps as well take out any oils, anything like that that's on the nail bed that I didn't get with my nail drill. Following that, I'm going to apply a nail primer. Now, both of these products are from Mia's Secret. I really like their brand. I'm going to start looking into different things. I want to try the Valentino line, but as of right now, those two are working just fine for me. And I do one hand at a time, which means I go ahead and apply the prep and the primer to one hand, let it dry, and then I go in with my acrylic. So the process of which I start my acrylic is I take my bead, I go ahead and dry most of it on a paper towel before I place it. The first placement of that first bead is going to be right where the free edge and the nail tip meets. From there, I go ahead and bring that nail bead down, and I just play with it, soften it out, move it around to how I want the nail, or the acrylic, I should say, lay on that nail.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. So no one else does me like you do. That's why I'm mine. Spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world. Don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling all day long.
Alright guys, so I kind of wanted to give you a closer look at how I laid the acrylic. I went ahead and placed my first bead down where the artificial nail meets the actual nail. And I went ahead and smoothed that out. I mainly let it do its own thing and just wipe the sides all the way until it gets to the free edge of the artificial nail. And that's where I'll go ahead and clean it up and taper it up. And then I go in with my second bead right above the first one. Not necessarily at the cuticle, but it's closer to it. Depending on the bead side, if I do get a good amount of acrylic on my brush, I'll go ahead and push it down towards the cuticle, and then I'll flatten it out. I don't really like to go too close to the cuticle, however, because that'll cause it to flood the cuticle. So I go ahead and just do it somewhat in front of it, and then I'll go ahead and pat it back.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. So no one else does me like you do. That's why I'm mine. Spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world. Don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling all day.
Main goal here is to make sure that my client has enough acrylic so that it doesn't easily crack the nail if she does go ahead and bang her finger, but I don't want to make it too thick as well. So what you'll see me do is continue to pat it just to make sure that it's at the level that I want it to be. You'll also see me move the hand around a lot because I do check all angles. The next thing you're going to see me do is clear out her cuticles here, and then once I see where her cuticle is, I then determine if I want to add another bead. I usually like to build my apex around this area, so around this time. So I'll go ahead and place that first bead down by her apex. I'll go ahead, play with it, brush it down, and then I'll go ahead and scope out her nails to see if I want to add more to it, and which I'll go ahead and do, just to make sure that she has that nice safe support system on her nail bed. So after I figured how thick I wanted her nail to be, I went ahead and started focusing on her apex. This is where you'll see me take about 2 smaller beads just to build a perfect apex for her. Now the apex, I usually place it where the nail bed and the nail tip meets, or they're glued together. That's usually around the part that if you squeeze down on your nail bed, you'll see it turn yellow. That's the part that you know it will hurt if you crack it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish out the rest of her fingers using the same method, which is the 3 bead method. Remember, the first one I place it where the free edge and the nail tip are. I smooth that down all the way towards the tip. Second one is right on top of that one. Depending on the bead size, you'll push it either to the cuticle or you'll just grab another tip for it. But that should be basically it. So just watch me work.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. So no one else will do what you do. That's why I'm mine. Spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world. Don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling all day long. Turn me inside out, make my heart beat. Leave no one else, you're all I need. Personality, everything you do, it's me to love, everything about you. Your smile, your style, so fly, I can't deny. I got a crush on you, that's truly. I'm digging you, you make me believe. Your love is one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a... Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. So no one else will do what you do. That's why I'm mine. Spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world. Don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling all day long. Turn me inside out, make my heart speak. Need no one else, you're all I need. Personality, everything you do, it's me love, everything about you. Your smile, your style, so fly, can't deny. I got a crush on you, that's true indeed. I'm digging you, you make me believe. Your love is one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See, no one else can do what you do. That's why I don't mind spend my life with you. I wanna please you any way I can. I wanna share my world, don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See, no one else can do what you do. That's why I don't mind spend my life with you. I wanna please you any way I can. I wanna share my world, don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling all day long. Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See, no one else can do what you do. That's why I don't mind spend my life with you. I wanna please you any way I can. I wanna share my world, don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling all day long. Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See, no one else can do what you do. That's why I don't mind spend my life with you. I wanna please you any way I can. I wanna share my world, don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling.
Alright, so once we're finished applying all of the acrylic, we're going to go ahead and take the dry hand and we're just going to file it out. I usually lay my acrylic really smooth and I clean it around the edges really nicely, so it doesn't take me much to file after the fact. Just clean anything that accidentally drooped over or is just out of place. So again, my client did one square, so I'm mainly focusing on the free edge of the artificial nail, as you can see, just to make sure it is nice and squared.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See, no one else does me like you do. That's why I don't mind spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world, don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on.
So after I go ahead and shape her nail, I then take my nail file, or nail drill I should say, and I do the same process that I did before on her bare nails. I go ahead from right to left and I just basically make sure everything is smooth. I also focus a lot on the cuticle area just to make sure if I miss anything or if I seen a little floodage going on. I don't think flood is your word, but we're just gonna stick with it. And I go ahead and take my sanding band or my cuticle bit and I clean around that edges. It did take me a couple months to finally get the hang of cleaning around the cuticle. I'm not gonna lie, I was cutting some of my clients now, but a lot of them stuck out with me, so we're good now. I don't barely have any type of injury.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See, no one else does me like you do. That's why I don't mind spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world, don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling all day long.
So once I am finished the first hand, I'll go on to the second one and repeat the same steps. Remember, I took my nail file at first with my 80/80 grit and I went ahead and cleaned up my shape to make sure nothing was leaning over or drooped over or dried kind of funny. Once I go ahead and file that hand, I'll take the drill as well and I'll go ahead from right to left and drill out the acrylic to make sure everything is smooth, focusing on the cuticle area as well. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap that up so then we could go ahead and move to buffing out her nail and then we can get into the nail design.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See, no one else does me like you do. That's why I don't mind spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world, don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling all day long.
Alright guys, so I want to apologize because I really thought I recorded myself buffing out her nails, but I didn't, unfortunately. So I'm just going to let you know exactly what I did. So as soon as I was done drilling her nails, using the nail drill, of course, I went ahead, dusted dust off of her, and then I used my nail buffer, and I just buffed out all the scratches caused by the nail drill. Once I did that to all of her fingers, I went ahead and told her to go wash her hands with water only, just to wash any excess oils or any time it's like a little sticky from the acrylic or the monomer. So I go ahead and send my clients to go wash their hands, and I prep myself for the design I'm about to do. Today she went with like a pink and blue marble blossoming finger, but she did that 4 times. She did 2 fingers on each hand, and then the rest of the other fingers had an outline of the pink and the blue. So I'm going to speed up the video so you can just see how I do it, and then at the end I'll just post the outcome.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, you can't be replaced. See, no one else love me like you do. That's why I'm mine. Spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world. Don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling all day long. Turn me inside out, make my heart speak. Need no one else, you're all I need. Personality, everything you do, it's me love, everything about you.